Hey guys, welcome back to another ep of Lush and Salty Aquariums. All right, I'm back at you so soon and with the same tank because it's not the same tank anymore. I've added some things and tweaked the hardscape like I said I was going to do. And here it is. What I've done is added some Colorado sand. That's what ADA calls that version of sand. It has a little bit of a pink tint to it. I'm sure this iPhone won't get that. And then some simple Imaginarium pebbles that you get at Petco because of that reddish and orange color, which augments, I think, wonderfully the tans of that wood and the dragonstone. So this is the evolution of a hardscape, a great argument for not immediately setting up your tank, but rather doing it piece by piece. There's several schools of thought in terms of how long you can keep certain kinds of substrate out, exposed, etc., to the air, and I guess that moderate heat from the light. And there's some merit to those arguments, especially if you're using exotic substrate, certainly not sand or pebbles, but beneath that there is a plant nutrient-based substrate, and that could be compromised to a degree if left dry for a period of time, I think. However, I believe the cons are way less important than the pros and the upside, which is, as I sat with the previous hardscape that you can see on the video just before this, something was missing. It just felt a little undone, and maybe it still is undone, but I'm much more pleased with it now. And I'm not adding water yet either. I still might play, I still might do some things. And besides, I don't think I'm ready. I'm still waiting for a little bit more equipment. I need some lily pipes that will fit this relatively shallow height. Lily pipes being the inflow and outflow for the canister filter. And as I said before, don't mean to be redundant, it's the Awaza Biomaster 600, a perfect size filter for a 32-gallon tank. Some might say bigger than it needs to be, but there's no such thing as over filtering. That's the textbook, and I'm sticking to that one even if I violated leaving hardscape open to the elements. I can't imagine setting up a tank all the way to the water from Jump Street. I think you've got to sit with something. It's never right the first time. Look, I'm a writer for a living and by trade, and the first draft is never right. It's never right for a poem, a short story, a screenplay. It needs some editing, and if I took any sort of advice from you guys on this channel, I'd employ that as well. I mean, constructive criticism is awesome, right? Because we're constructing an aquascape, and once you add water, it's, you can still tweak it, but it's a whole different animal and plants and the rest of it. And I want it to be, but you know what? I just love looking at it without water. I've always kind of thought hardscapes were creative and artistic in their own right, and something like this is no exception. I almost just like it straight up, right? But I'm afraid to corrupt it with water and livestock. That's how we get attached to something creative. But I am excited to play with this. If I do heat this tank, I'll probably put in maybe some green neon tetras, a school of those. If I don't heat it, and I've been thinking about not heating it, maybe some sort of river stream Danio or something along those lines that could tolerate cooler temperatures. I'd love to know what you think. Obviously, this replicates a bit of a river flow, right? The way the wood and the dragonstone creates a downstream effect. So, Danio's, I suppose guppies, but I'm not going to be doing that. Certain other fish that you would that feel like a part of this sort of aquascape come to mind. But this tank is big enough to support bigger fish, so I still am thinking about that as well. And so each phase, I want the aquascape to dictate what livestock I choose, not the other way around. I've always kind of been that way. I can fall in love with any fish if it's happy. So I want to create a wonderful environment with the materials I have, and then figure out the best possible fish for that environment. And a lot of people do it the other way around, but not this camper. Anyway, let me know what you think. I'm so excited and happy to be back and having my hands in the tank. Ciao for now.